And if you can find room in your backpack for that fancy dress costume you like the idea of whipping out unexpectedly, or if you're just here on a cruise or a long weekend and carry-on luggage allows you to take that on board the plane or on board the ship, or maybe just wear it on board the plane. They couldn't stop you, could they? Well, they wouldn't like you taking the spear, but yeah, there's a fun thing to see. And I would like to see somebody trying to board a plane wearing it. And here's a place I nearly overlooked. Stenbock House, seat of the government and the state chancellery of the Republic of Estonia. So saw it from ground level, walking around the gardens, looking up above the walls, but almost just walked straight past it. And this is why I walked almost straight past it, because as you can see from this viewpoint it isn't really anything special. Nothing significant stands out about it to catch your eye, even though there are the Estonian and European Union flags outside. You can't really get a sense of the curving shape or any features to make it really make you stop and stare, but a building of some significance clearly. Can't appreciate it except for that photograph of the aerial shot. And I think it looks even better, to be honest, if you're down at ground level, looking up, seeing that building standing proudly above the old fortified walls. Belching tourist. Always adds a bit of colourful character to a morning walk around an old town, I think. And no, I don't think I'm going there. But do I know where I'm going? Of course not. That looks like an absolutely certain dead end. So I'm going to give it a chance to surprise me. Crikey. Look at this for a stairwell. Would you feel like coming out of that door on a winter morning, having to negotiate those iron steps? Slippery as... Yes, exactly. Ah, it's not a complete dead end. So my snout hasn't let me down completely. Or has it? Okay, so much for not completely a dead end. Of course, I was wrong, as usual. However, there is an opportunity to climb into this open window, or follow the signs. I think I'll follow the signs. And the signs are bringing me out onto another viewing platform. Well, well, well. Spoilt for viewing platforms in this place. Public toilet over there, that's always handy. So I see the train station down there. Ferry boat far off in the distance. One of the islands off the coast of Tallinn. I think that might be the one beginning with the letter N. Necessar or something like that. Nice, cool, shady. The benefit of coming in the morning. So it does serve some time, clearly, if you follow the signs. And signs as clear as that. I didn't even have to look for them, did I? Now I'm doubling back on myself, it seems. What I really want to do is get back down over the other side of this hilltop and come down on the side where Freedom Square is, Vabaduse Valjak. Because from there I can then pop in to a little supermarket and buy something to eat. It's getting time for breakfast, I think, after walking around for an hour or two. I think last time I turned left and this time I'm turning right, and this should get me into the right direction, I think, on the right track. And there's another alternative viewpoint of that Russian Orthodox Church. I forgot to see who it's dedicated to, so if you do know whether it's St Mary, Saint Elizabeth, Saint Katerina or Saint someone else, feel free to let me know in comments, won't you? Again, I need to shoot into the sun, I'm afraid. I'm just grateful I found another little scenic corner of the old town, which isn't overrun with tourists like me, and offers more views of the old fortifications. And this perimeter wall. I had thought it might be a possibility to walk along the top of the perimeter wall in places, but it doesn't seem realistic to be able to do that. Not in this medieval city. And a little rose garden. Sets off the austere looking grey walls, doesn't it? Russian Orthodox Church. And a nice sweeping view. Good grief. The Rose Garden was inaugurated June 2019 by Her Majesty Queen Margaret II to mark 800 years ago in 1219 when the Danish flag, Dannebrog, according to legend, fell from the sky to King Valdemar II in Tallinn. Today the flag and coats of arms of Denmark, Estonia and Tallinn reflect the friendship of our peoples. So it just goes to show, even when there's a destructive invading force causing havoc upon the original occupiers of a territory, give it 800 years and you can be friends again. I suppose there's some vague, remote hope in that for our own futures. Friendship in Europe and across the world. It only takes 800 years and the construction of a rose garden. Remember that, folks. The Maiden Tower, first mentioned in 1373. It is the only preserved bigger defence tower on the medieval town wall of Tallinn with a rectangular shape, in addition to 2 gate towers. The sharp-edged, maybe sharp-tongued, Maiden Tower. Says here, the whispering lights of Old Town Tallinn. You can read it for yourself. In 2019, the city walls and towers of Tallinn's Old Town were upgraded with a modern lighting system that awakens them to new life when darkness arrives. Now the buildings whisper stories of their long and colourful history, highlighting their dignified shape and exciting detail through light and shadow. So that suggests it's worth coming back here at nightfall to see the tower light show, if you can call it a tower light show. I think it's going to be quite a discreet lighting, but from what I've seen of Tallinn this time of year, you don't get a lot of nightfall. I think probably coming to Tallinn a bit later in the year would be an idea if you wanted to see those whispering light tower tops at their finest. And this is Kiek in de Koek. Is it the kitchen? Kitchen. Is it the kitchen anything? Kitchen tower or something? Bastion Passages, Carved Stone Museum. Ooh la la. But I've got a feeling this isn't the way in. Kiek in de Koek. And we can get a better view of that Maiden Tower from here as well. And for an overall schematic, here we are. Nice. I have to take my hat off to Tallinn for providing all this information as you walk around the walls and towers. It's great to get the extra little bit of detail to read about. So many times I've walked around medieval walls and towers like this, and there's been scant information available. So it's great that there's more bits and pieces to put flesh on the bones of what remains standing in stone. It almost rhymes, doesn't it? And what have we got here? I'm at the corner of another park. And trees nearly 300 years old. Aha, and we are close to Vabaduse Valjak. Right. Just say goodbye to the Maiden Tower and Kiek in de Koek. And enter Harjumägi. if that's how it's pronounced, which it most inevitably, of course, isn't going to be the way it's pronounced. Here we are at the rapids. That has got to be the noisiest fountain. And that has got to be the biggest wasp. Humongous wasp. Are you a wasp or are you a hornet? And the park is small scale. I thought it was going to be a little bit larger than it turns out to be. I'm surprised. However, to its advantage, there is this very nice view of Vabaduse Valjak. Freedom Square. We're now at the southern end, eastern end of the old town. Coming down from Toompea onto this open modern square with the modern new Tallinn city centre in the distance. I know they have some special events here sometimes, which must be glorious, I imagine. There's a bit more space for them here, of course, as we can see the broadening out of the square, rather large. And over in the distance there's the Russian theatre. You're getting attacked by midges, lots and lots. Gesundheit. Now we're coming down to the level which marks what for many people is the typical old town scene from Vabaduse Valjak here. You can turn left at the bottom of these stairs, go straight ahead, and that will lead you into the central Old Town Square, Rakoja Platz it's called. Again, apologies for the terrible pronunciation. That will have to wait for another day. A proper walk around the small streets of the old town will be what I aim to do perhaps tomorrow or the next day, depending. For now, I'm going to take this easy walk across the square and head to a nice little supermarket that exists in a shopping mall complex called Solaris, or Solaris if you prefer. I can't film in there, so I can't show you the delights. The security guard jumped on me the other day. No filming. There is a cinema complex upstairs as well, and various specialty shops, cheese shops. If you want particularly good quality food, there looks to be a nice bio market inside as well. again in the one floor down level, and the usual array of clothes shops, shoe shops as well. So it is remarkably quiet for summertime in Tallinn on a weekend. So I'm guessing that the locals may well know that there are other things, better things for them to see and do. They may well have headed towards Pirita Beach, where they're not allowed to swim officially. And there may well be other festivals and activities going on. I know there's a maritime festival going on in 3 different locations in the city this weekend, and of course in the summertime there's always a festival of some kind or other taking place. I see on that building across the road it says Estonia's Drama Theatre. Behind that is the concert hall, opera house. I know another Estonian friend of mine has appeared in some of the productions in the opera house as a singer and dancer. That's why it sticks in my head, the building on the other side. And it coincidentally also faces opposite this rather nice little shopping mall in the centre of the city, Solaris. Nice, eh? Now, time to get breakfast.